Yo, what is going on YouTube? It is your boy GZTV. We are back with yet another video, and in this video we are here to talk about You Season 5 Episode 7. Go on the channel, check out the other reviews, by the way. We have done every single episode leading up to now. This episode's complete, so after this we have 3 episodes left in the show before we wrap the series up. Joe is in deep trouble as his past catches up to him, leading to doubts and ethical dilemmas. Fans from past seasons reveal Joe's true nature, fueling his journey. Well, characters from past seasons reveal his true nature, fueling his journey. The episode ends with Joe declaring a love for Louise, but facing a shocking twist as Kate seeks revenge. Obviously, this is a spoiler review. We're going to be covering every last thing that happens in this episode, as we have been doing for the past, 40 plus episodes of the show before this. This season has put the spotlight on Bronte, along with twins Maddie and Reagan Lockwood, and this episode focuses on Joe Goldberg. Last episode was very much a Bronte-oriented episode, and in this episode, we are very much getting a Joe Goldberg episode to really deep dive into his character, kind of look into his past a little bit, kind of him reflecting on himself. It's all great. After the surprising and grim finale from last season, fans wondered how much Joe could get away with his crimes. Now that this season is here, it's clear that he might not be able to run from his past or his true nature much longer. You know, as this season marches towards its conclusion, Joe is in more trouble than ever before, although he might not think so. You know, he's a pretty fucking delusional guy right now. Joe always thinks he's right and everyone around him is wrong, and in this compelling episode, he's wondering what comes next. Again, we still have 3 episodes of this electrifying TV show. So kind of getting into what happens in this episode, a big old plot, and then we kind of talk about what my thoughts are personally. This episode is titled #Joe Goldberg. It is a compelling and clever look at the true crime genre, how people respond to controversial famous figures, and whether Joe can change. This is a very dope episode. I wouldn't say it could be a standalone, but honestly, you could combine the last couple of episodes and make this like a Black Mirror TV show, an episode of that show. It's crazy. I really like kind of the sequence and how this season really sets itself apart from other seasons of the show. This episode begins with Joe yelling at Kate that he wants to see Henry. I mean, of course, ever since Joe and his love interest, Love Quinn from the season 2 and season 3, I believe, again, Victoria Pedretti, became parents, Joe wasn't wanted to leave Henry alone. He hasn't wanted to leave Henry alone. He's wanted to look like a really good father. Joe is haunted by his mom's abandonment and meets with a lawyer, but of course, getting custody won't be easy because obviously he signed the agreement papers. Without his knowledge, albeit, but he still signed these agreement papers, which means he can't have Henry. You can't even see him. It's a full custody deal. The story moves between Joe's hope he can rework his public image and Lois's decision to trust Joe. There is a lot here. There is a lot of like mental struggle. It's like a teeter-totter here. These two characters are really deciding what they want to do, what their next actions are going to be. This is a very strategic season, and you know, the way they kind of talk and all that stuff is very strategic as well. After handing a teacher a book to give to Henry that has a tracker hidden inside, Joe learns Henry is staying in an apartment with Teddy Lockwood, Griffin Matthews. There's a funny moment when Joe tries to calm Teddy down by saying, "It's me," and Teddy replies, "Exactly." Pretty funny stuff. After Henry sees them fight, security removes Joe. Fans had questions before the last season and before watching this season. Viewers also wondered if others would learn the truth about Joe. Many people have realized what he's capable of, now Teddy Lockwood being one of them. Back at the apartment above Mooney's, Joe is angry and sees #Joe Goldberg trending. You know, he's like an internet icon for all of the wrong reasons. Fans wondered if Joe would have visions of his victims, and he does see videos of them. He does see people talking about them. He watches a video from Phoenix and Dom mentioning his victims, Candace, Benjamin, Beck, and asking for any information. So these people know, like, this is the first time Joe knows that people know that he killed all these people. It's not good. In a humorous moment that echoes the campy tone of past seasons of this show, Joe shows his pretentious nature and hatred of social media when he asks, "Did my death sentence really just begin with the phrase pop off?" I mean, obviously it is kind of campy. It is kind of cringy sometimes what they do with some of the social media tropes and stuff on this episode, in these episodes, in the show overall, but I think it's pretty funny. After Teddy tells Kate she is just like their father, fans get to see past characters who say they know Joe's true nature. We'll kind of go through the who played these characters. This includes Dottie Quinn, played by Saffron Burrows, Love and 40's mom. 40 was played by James Scully, as you guys saw a couple seasons ago, along with a funny video from the couple from season 3. You have Sherry, played by Shalita Grant, and Carrie Conrad, played by Travis Van Winkle, who say Love was crazy and locked them in a cage. So it seems like Joe is kind of getting the support from other people, and like that couple is basically saying Joe wasn't the problem, Love was, you know, which is kind of cool. We also get reintroduced to some characters from past seasons that I completely forgot about, including Peach's friend Annika Atwater, played by Katherine Gallagher, and Joe's younger neighbor Paco. I didn't forget about him, but he was played by Luca Donovan. I loved Paco. I remember him on the show. You know, they also say Joe is scary and dangerous. Like, Paco knew he had like murderous, aggressive tendencies, and now that this stuff's coming out, you know, he kind of talks on social media about it. The U Season 1 character Ethan Russell, played by Jack Cherry, says he can't say Joe didn't murder people. Ethan Russell was the guy that worked at Mooney's. Beck's older brother makes a video too, and Joe never got to meet her older brother. These are effective and moving cameos that anger Joe and fuel him for the rest of his journey, possibly for the rest of the show, at least for the rest of this episode. Joe asks Maddie to help him since she works in PR and threatens her with a video of her killing Reagan in the cage. Again, kind of that whole principle of blackmail starting to come back, and yeah, she can really help him. Joe goes on the Kim Craven show and says he regrets being unfaithful to Kate with Lois. You know, he's trying to be kind of apologetic. You know, he's trying to kind of save his image on social media. Kim calls the Kate creepy, of course, which is a moment when viewers definitely want to yell at the screen and tell her to find out about all the people Joe killed in there. Joe says, "This place has been a refuge for most of my life," and that could have some pretty dark meanings to it, I'm not gonna lie to you. And a surprising and memorable moment. Joe opens up about Mooney being a father figure to him and being harsh with him. Joe then breaks down sobbing, which almost ruins the interview. This is like the last thing Maddie told him he should be doing as a man, doing an interview for PR. Lois texts Joe that he saved her, which makes him wonder if they could be happy together. And, you know, the delusional Joe wants to go back to Lois, and I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll kind of talk about how the episode ends here. This episode ends with Joe saying he's in love with Lois during his TV interview, and at least saying he was in love with her at a point. You know, he doesn't concretely say, like, I am in love right now, in the present moment. You know, obviously, people could assume that he still has feelings for her and that. There you go. Joe says he's not a victim and a normal guy, and this is drama and misunderstanding and all these type of things, trying to save his image, and to an extent, it definitely worked. Kate is upset when she watches the live stream and sees positive comments rolling in about Joe. People are coming around to this guy like maybe he's not this crazy serial killer. He does things out of love. He's a genuine person, 10 out of 10, all these different things. This perfectly crafted scene proves that some people will always be charmed by mysterious figures like Joe, despite how evil they are. It's a life lesson, I guess. Kate then sets Joe's worst nightmare into motion when she tells Henry that Joe hurt people and shares that they are going to travel to London. We gotta get out of here. We gotta fix this. We gotta start a new life and do all this sort of stuff. Since the last season took place in London, it's easy to wonder if Kate will see some past U characters fans have been wondering about once again. Joe sees rude comments and videos about Lois and can't ignore his instincts to hurt someone who he thinks is going to attack her. When a man named Dame almost kidnaps Lois, Joe throws a brick at his head, probably killing him. Then Kate's plan is revealed. She visits Nadia Farhan, who is played by Amy Lee Hickman, in prison and says, "We are going to take Joe Goldberg down." So again, more and more chess pieces as the show kind of closes out are starting to form together. You know, these two are going to team up and try to take him down. We don't really know where she stands here, but after seeing some more positive press about himself as a newsstand, Joe wants to continue his relationship with Lois, who wakes up handcuffed to his bed, and it's like, Joe, come on, man, like, what do you want here? Do you want to be the good guy? Do you want to be the bad guy? It's very, like, emotionally conflicting, I would say. This is a great twist ending that proves Lois was wrong to trust Joe. He has her in fucking handcuffs. He thinks that they could be happy, but that's up to you. And that's kind of what the next episode is setting up as. What is Joe's decision going to be? Is he going to be happy, or what is Lois's decision going to be? Is she going to be happy and willing to be with Joe? Is she going to see she's in handcuffs and know she shouldn't have trusted him? What kind of things are going to happen there? I mean, you know, the interview, I guess, and all that stuff was very interesting of this episode. That is it. That is the plot. So let's talk review. Getting into the review, I do think the main plot of the episode was pretty strong with the interview. I thought it was very fascinating and a smart addition to the season. It showed his very manipulative nature. You know, he's trying to make people think one thing when really he is something else. Deep down, it's just such a moral dilemma. It continues to be that with the show. We know deep down he is kind of a piece of shit. Like, he does stuff out of love. He does stuff for his partners. And when they go against him, he kills them. That's evil. That's unjustifiable. That will never be justified by audiences ever. You know, the interview and just the NPC characters and all the side characters and stuff in the show continue to get manipulated by Joe, and this interview was a big example of that. One of the biggest examples we've gotten on the show, because Joe's officially like a celebrity around now. Like forget being with Kate, forget, you know, being this guy in Vogue, forget being the first man of America, of New York City anyway. He is famous. Like, he's full-blown famous for, you know, what happened with Clayton, what happened with Bronte, what happened with all these different pieces in his life that he never thought would become pieces in his life. Yeah, you know, he's kind of trying to deal with that. He's got PR. I think it's a really dope dynamic. I think the season's doing a great job at really like publicizing Joe Goldberg as a character among the masses and giving different opinions, kind of reflecting on how normal people in social media would react to these situations. I really enjoyed this season. I hope you guys did too. With that being said, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to promote my channel, you know, on different social medias, and pretty soon we will have exclusive content on certain platforms. So make sure you guys tune in for stuff, you know, add my socials. I'll probably put them on the screen right now again, but leave a like, comment, subscribe. I will leave them up here for the rest of the video. It has been your boy GZTV. Obviously, we have 3 more episodes of the show, and the Summer Smash stuff is coming up. I have an announcement coming out tomorrow. I will probably record it tonight. So that being said, I'm out.